Everyone, I'm Sobhya from Sensing Local and representing Malleshwaram Urban Living Lab. If I can request everyone to switch on their webcams, the ones that are comfortable doing so, because this session is meant to be more of an interactive session as opposed to one that is of just giving information. So it will be great because it's about us trying to understand the larger community that's here, as well as to get engaged and familiar with each other.
Someone has a tropical background. I could not get a virtual background no matter how I tried. I believe we need a plain wall. That's what I'm told.
Yeah.
People can also unmute themselves, right?
Yes. Yes.
Well, actually, this virtual background in Zoom works perfectly fine. You don't really need a good background. You can.
I know. There is a certain way to do it. Like you need a what they call a green wall.
No, nothing actually. You can use it wherever you want. It's pretty cool.
So I tried it, and it was very strange. My face was sort of emerging out of but not nicely like Ankit says, but it was kind of blending into some solar system and grass and so on. Okay, next time I will try it. There are how many people? There are 16 people. I would like to see everybody's faces, please. No sinus problem, I hope.
And also, if you all can unmute yourselves, because we are going to start off with introductions. So you will have to unmute yourselves, and you will possibly have to show yourselves for at least the introductions as we go forward.
Let's probably unmute whenever we are speaking.
Yeah, for now, okay, shall we then just start off with the introduction? Actually, we had divided this session into 4 parts. Our first part is largely about how we can understand what the aspirations are of most of us who are living in Malleshwara, as well as what is the most important COVID action that you believe now that we are all part of this entire situation and we are in this situation, we are using our neighborhood. What do you think is the most important COVID action? And we will sort of from there move into what we think are the barriers. So the first session is a truly engaged session where you guys have to participate in actually putting out what you think is most important out there. And this can be entirely what you personally feel is more important. It doesn't have to be from any other perspective. The second part of the session will get into the idea of living labs and what Malleshwaram Urban Living Lab is about. So we can run into a little bit of what the living lab model is and how have other cities been using it as a way to sustain change in their neighborhoods, as well as how 1 month back, the setting up of Malleshwaram Living Lab, how did that sort of come forth and where do we see that go? We'll be introducing Sensing Local Foundation. Ankit and I are co-founders of Sensing Local Foundation. We have some of our other team members here as well, Naveen as well here. And basically to take you through the kind of work that we've been doing and how we think we can help. And the last session is basically a culmination from the last 2-3 webinars that have happened on the first priority projects that have come up. And some of these are projects that have already kickstarted and are happening. Some of them are new projects that we think can be taken up. The idea is so that everybody is able to find out which project they would like to volunteer on and sign up for to start participating in this entire intervention itself. So I think we'll just run through the introductions. Very briefly, I just would like you guys to tell us your name, if you're a resident of Malleshwaram or not, and a line about yourself, very briefly. So I'll call out the names, and if you can start from there. So Aniruddha, do you want to start?
Yeah, okay. So I'm in Malleshwaram since 2009, so that's about 11 years. So I'm a software engineer and I'm also a musician. So I'm currently doing full-time music. And I have not been very active as part of community programs are concerned, but of course, couple of them, like I was part of this study, not exactly study, the movement that happened near the Sankey tank where there's a plan when trees were being felled. So, so frankly, I was not aware of this organization. So I just came across the poster, and I thought probably I should get myself aware and see what I can do here. So I'm here for learning and checking out what is happening.
Great. Vishwesh, can we have you next? Vishwesh,
Yeah.
Vishwanath.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Vishwesh. I used to I grew up in Malleshwaram and I've been back for the last 1 year. I lived in Delhi for around 2 decades where I worked with Pradeep Sachdev, the architect, and I've primarily spent these 2 decades working and engaging with public space and urbanism on projects like the redevelopment of Chandni Chowk and the Jama Masjid precinct, looking at policy, guidelines, and advocacy, specifically related to streets and pedestrianization. Currently, for the last year, I've been a faculty at Srishti, where I engage with the public space design courses.
Okay. Manju, thank you, Vishwesh.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Manju George. I'm not a resident of Malleshwaram. I basically work for an organization called ESAF, and recently, as part of the MHOEA advisory, we had proposed 8 Cross Malleshwaram to be pedestrianized market streets. So when I saw this post in Facebook, I thought this is one way of connecting with the people from Malleshwaram. So, and I saw Sujitra also there. So I'm happy to be in this session.
Great. Thank you. Saroja Srinivasan. Can we have you next?
Give me
Okay. Next, Prasad Kamath.
My name is Prasad Kamath. I live in the 11th cross of Malleshwaram.
Okay.
I am an electronic engineer, now retired, and then just spending some time reading and studying something. That's it. Yeah.
Okay. Great. Krishna.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I live in on 6th Main, resident of Malleshwaram for the last 20 years, and I happen to work also in Malleshwaram now. I've been active with Malleshwaram Social for the last 2 or 3 years. I'm a software engineer.
Okay, great. Shreya Mathur.
Hi, it's Shreya Mathur.
Sorry. Hi.
So I was. Can you hear me?
Yes. Yes, we can hear you.
Hello.
Hello. Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, sorry. It's the network is a bit. Yeah. So I was born and brought up in Malleshwaram. In fact, I studied in Cluny Government. I my architecture in Bangalore, and I worked as an urban designer for about 4 years in Delhi, Bhubaneswar, and Bombay. And I came back to Bangalore 2 years ago to pursue my master's in public policy and governance from Azim Premji University. So I'm just wrapping that up, and unfortunately I hadn't heard of this group earlier, but now that I have, I'm excited to be.
Great. Ankit, can you just mute the people? You see the sound, yeah? So I request you to mute yourself if you're not speaking, because you have a lot of background noise coming in. Saraswati Natarajan, is that right? Can we have you next? Saraswati. Okay, I'm going to move on to the next. Sucheta.
Hello.
Yeah. Saraswati, you're back.
Yeah,
Yes.
can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
but I can't see you, or I mean, I can't see myself.
Yeah, your video probably is not on.
But can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, well, I'm Saraswati Natarajan, staying on 18 Cross, Fort Main, Bangalore since 34 years. Basically, I'm a social worker and I'm involved with the MSI and MS organizations, and I've been doing a lot of work. I don't know in what way I'll be able, but I'm over 80 plus, so I don't think I'll be involved in anything more now hereafter. I don't know, though I'm very, very passionate about all these things to do some work, right?
Yes,
that's
absolutely.
it. I think I can stop here for the moment.
Great.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you. Then Radhika Prasad.
Yeah, hi. I'm Radhika. I'd rather not put on the video. Lockdown times. Better you don't see me. Basically, yeah. So I'm a resident of 8th Cross, and I've been here for the last 20 years. And I'm a concerned citizen of Malaysia. I'm keen to know what is going to come out of this meeting. Thank you.
Great. Sucheta.
Hello.
Yeah.
This is Sucheta Kini. I live in Malleshwaram for the last 15 years, and we live in the other side of Malleshwaram, that is Malleshwaram West, near the Renaissance Park apartments.
Yeah.
And I heard about this through the Facebook page and joined very interesting events. I would like to be a part of some events after all the COVID situation improves.
Yeah. Vishwesh.
I already introduced myself.
Oh, sorry. Then the webcams are moving around.
Yeah.
Can I? I'm just trying to see who else we missed out. Bhagi.
Hello, my name is Bhagirathi, and I'm currently pursuing my 8th semester of BArch in Ramya Institute of Technology, and I was lucky enough to have been given the opportunity to work with Sensing Local and Suchitra.
Great. Who else do we have?
I have some people who've just joined. I think Jay.
Yeah.
Kala.
Kala, maybe Kala. Start with Kala then.
She's mute actually.
Kala?
Kala is our Mitu person who came for the
Yeah.
masked person. Okay, we have somebody else.
Yeah, Jairam is also hasn't introduced. If you
Kala, you're on mute. Yes, we can hear you now.
Hi everybody. So many of you know me already. So I'm running this Mitu Foundation, and my office is there on 18th Cross, 8th Main corner, on top of the post office. Hi everybody, and yeah, I'm very much interested in doing something for Malleshwaram.
Great. Sharanya? You'll have to unmute. Can't hear you. You'll have to unmute, I think.
Yeah, I think there are a couple of more people, but it's I think there's one Preeti, I suppose.
Preeti, come. Yeah.
Jairam is there as well.
Can you see me?
No. Preeti, come on.
Can you see me?
No, we can hear you.
But I've switched on the video.
I could see.
Okay, now I can see Sharanya and Shailendra.
You can turn on the gallery view, it helps.
Hello. Let me.
Yeah.
Ramchandran, can you see me?
Hello?
Hello. Yeah. Ramchandran.
Yeah, can we have Preeti? Do you want to just introduce yourself very quickly?
Yeah, but I don't know if the video is seen.
It's seen. We can see you.
We can see you, so you could just,
Sorry. So, hi, my name is Preeti. I've been in Malleshwaram since I was born, so pretty much 40 years now. Yeah, so I've interested in doing anything, I mean, with regards to Malleshwaram Social. I think you're doing a lot of interesting things, and wherever I can chip in, I'll be more than happy to.
Great.
And Preeti, the dancer is the dancer in our Bharatnatyam video.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
footpath.
Yeah. Jairam, can we have you on next? Okay, Jairam's taking us on a route along the house.
Hi.
Hi, Jairam.
Hi.
You need to flip your camera.
Yes, your camera is flipped the other way.
Okay.
Yes,
Now?
we can see you now. Yes.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Jairam. I stay in Matikere. So all of my school days have been done in VP Indian Public School, and most of my friends live there, and I interact too much with Malaysian friends. Anything else which I have to do?
No. Great. No. Can we go on to who have I missed out? Can people, because videos have been moving around, participants have been moving around. I think Srini Money at hp.com. I'm not sure what the name is.
Sharanya and Shailaja.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, this is Mani and Maya here. So I will let
Hi.
Maya introduce both of us.
Hi,
Hi.
so I'm Maya, and I just finished my bachelor's. So like I'm hoping to get into a master's in environmental science. And this is my dad. He's a consultant at HP, and both of us have been residents of Malleshwaram since about 2003. And so like we don't really have experience in this, but like we just wanted to sort of help out because we really love Malleshwaram. So
Okay, great. Am I missing out? Anyone else?
Sharanya and Shailaja.
Sharanya, I know. Have they been able to figure out the mute? Unmuted. Now you're unmuted. Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear
can
me?
you. Yes.
Yeah, I'm Shailaja Varma. We live on 4th Main Road, Malleshwaram, and I've been here since the past 50 plus years. I am a special educator and now work in a preschool. I used to run a preschool in Malleshwaram for 14 years.
Okay.
And been involved in some of the activities of Malleshwaram City.
Okay, great.
And I'm Sharanya. This is
Hi,
my
Sharanya.
I'm a final year architecture student, so I'm just finishing up my bachelor's now. And I've been in Malleshwaram pretty much my whole life. And I've been part of the GGHS documentation project before. And I'm also planning to do something in the future related to urban planning masters also. So yeah,
Okay.
I'm really interested in being involved.
Great. Who else do we have? I know there are people from Sensing Local team. I will not come to you right now. We will introduce Sensing Local team later. But the others, who am I? Mr. Sandur Subramanian.
Hi. Yeah, hi. Good evening to all. This is Subramanian, and normally people call me as Sandur. I was staying in the 8th Main near Raghavendra Temple almost around 20-30 years back. Then shifted to PP layout. But I happen to be active member with Malleshwaram Social through Facebook. I could able to get this opportunity. Frankly, whatever the informations and activities are taking place in Malleshwaram Social, all the informations and actions, I take it as still with pride. I'm also active member in PPLA Residents Welfare Association. Whatever happens here, I keep telling my people, to do the good work. What is happening at Malleshwaram, we replicate here also. About
Absolutely.
myself,
Hats off to Malleshwaram Social for that.
absolutely, no doubt. And coming to myself, I was working with Unilever. Then I took early retirement and wanted to be with my family. Last 3 years, I settled in Bangalore. Of course, in a small time, I do my consultancy on food safety and the certification on ISO standards.
Right.
And I'm an active member on terrace gardening, and I do it as a social work, like hobby and social. We keep sharing the seeds, samplings, and other things on bi-monthly basis. So
Great.
yeah, this is all from my side.
Great. Manjula, I can see Manjula. There's a Manjula there. Who else have I missed out? We are up to 30 participants, which is great. Manjula, if you want to unmute.
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah. Hello, everybody. I am
Yes.
Manjula Prafulla. I'm staying in 13 Cross, Malleshwaram. Hello.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, that's it.
Great. Thank you. Who else am I missing out? Manju, have we finished?
Sonal is on. Sonal is there.
Yes, I have been introduced.
Yes, Mr. Ramu. As well.
I'm Ramu. I'm a retired Director General of Police. I'm 88 years old. I was the first president of the Malleshwaram Swabhimana. We're all indulging in all these activities which you are now continuing and picking up. Sorry for my throat. My throat has given way. Now it's okay. Nice to be in your group. I see a lot of youngsters. I have the privilege of being the oldest member.
Great. Thank you, sir. Who else? Any? I can see Meera is here. Sonal is here. You want to just briefly introduce yourself, just so that the team is well known.
Hi, Meela here. And I just suddenly, I just happened to check my WhatsApp message and Suchitra had message and I just followed the orders. I have no idea. Yeah, I'm
Great.
not a resident of Malleshwaram. I live right across town, but yeah, we have a similar whatever community and I'm happy to support any neighborhood level community initiatives. Yeah.
Yeah, great. Shweta?
Yeah, same. Sorry.
Sonal, come. Yeah.
Hi. Yeah, same as Meera. I happened to see my WhatsApp and Suchitra had sent this link. I'm actually a resident of Kumara Park, which is like a neighborhood very close to Malleshwaram, and Malleshwaram was my backyard. I did all my tuitions and my, a lot of stuff happened for me in Malleshwaram. So it's almost like my second home. And I'm happy to be part of whatever Malleshwaram Social is doing.
Great. Have I missed out? I think I can see Murli.
Chitra Salator.
Shweta.
Yeah, hi. So I'm Shweta and I've lived in Malleshwaram almost all my life. So right now I am a postdoctoral researcher at NCBS and I would love to be a part of Malleshwaram Social. I think I became a member a few months ago, just around the time of the lockdown. So I would love to be a part of this. Thank you.
So Chitra, you want to point out if you missed out anyone or anyone, please, that we missed out, please unmute yourselves.
I can see Murli and Chitru. I don't know who is online though. I just saw.
Yeah, I see. I'm just imagining if we were actually in a room full, it would be an amazing energy that we would be having. Unfortunately, we have to do this offline.
I'm also seeing Manju online. Manju?
Manju.
Yeah, Sonal, I introduce.
Yeah, Manju's done.
Okay. I think we can start, Sobhya.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's great listening to everyone and that everyone is here for Malleshwaram, and I think that's the one common ground that we've all collected for that reason on a Saturday evening. The first session that we will be starting with, so we had sent out a survey to a lot of you guys who actually filled it in and registered, and the whole idea of that survey was to just get a feel of how long have you stayed in Malleshwaram? What do you think? Do you think things can change? What do you like about Malleshwaram? And these are just a few of the quotes that we found, which are both some negative and some positive, where you say that, yes, there is an ethos to Malleshwaram that everybody likes. I think that's a common thing of anybody even visiting Malleshwaram. And yes, we have seen a lot of change in the neighborhood, which are sort of things that we don't really like or enjoy, or we think could be done better. From looking at the commercialization, looking at aspects related to lack of representation, which is a very interesting thing, and the fact that your representatives from the municipality aren't doing their job, or aspects of saying that it's just a super self-sufficient neighborhood. And we also from there realized that a lot of you guys have already been involved in community level activities, which is a fabulous thing. So we've got 35 responses. We have 30 people here, which is already great. So the whole idea of this session is threefold. So we've got three basic questions. Ankit, do you want to put on the question?
Yeah, so I'll just screen share, Suvya.
Yeah, I'll just stop sharing mine. We've got three basic questions, and I want you guys to just think about it, because we will go around the table again and Ankit will be populating that. I want you guys to think of what is the one, now that since you all have been involved, what is that one action or project that you think Malleshwaram requires? The second thing is, what is the most important COVID action or response? And what do you think is the barrier to achieving that? So we will again go around the table, and if whoever is ready to go first can go first. But the idea is so that everybody is actually putting out what is there, so we can find something that is common and then move ahead in that manner. And I'd request you all to keep it very brief. So it could just be a liner at the most, or one action as 2-3 words at the most. So
Can you see my screen? Is it possible?
yes, we can see your screen. You can make it full screen if you like also.
Yeah.
Yes. So shall we go around the table then as well? Shall I do a call of names again? Anirudh, do you want to start, because you're top on my list again?
Okay. Actually, to be frank, I registered last moment. I think it's good if I have had some time to think.
Done.
I can't think of anything immediately.
Okay,
Probably
so we'll
something like awareness. Awareness of a community group that this exists. Not many people know about it. I mean, 32 is a good number, but I still, for a Malleshwaram, I think we can do some, outreach, and so that a lot of people get involved, and a lot of, things can be carried forward. Yeah, that is one thing.
And in terms of the COVID action, do you think there's something that is most emergent or most needed at this stage?
Nothing specific to Malleshwaram, I can say. I don't know. I can't think of anything, because people have been working the way they're supposed to. I don't really see negligence as such. That's something I can point out or comment about.
Okay. And any barrier that you think is there to achieving maybe awareness, because you have said that as an action?
Yeah, it's not a barrier. Something I don't know. I wasn't aware, so I can assume by 32 people here that probably this awareness can be done. That's not a barrier, though. Yeah.
Okay.
Lack of awareness. Can I say lack of awareness is some kind of barrier? I guess.
Yeah, if you would like to think so. Okay.
Can we have Chaitra next? I'm just going to call out the names so that we can get going, and I'm
We
keeping
can
a
do
tab.
it random, Suvya, just in the interest of time.
You want to just unmute everybody and people can just speak up, because otherwise they keep waiting.
Also, yeah, absolutely. So if somebody wants to go first, who's already thought?
This Subramaniam.
Yes.
See, the one action or project where we need to continue is that the elimination of use of plastic. While Malleshwarams keep doing quite a good work on this, how do we take it as a power of one into the many more streets and take the help of BBMP or the government? Because the both NGT, National Green Tribunal, as well as High Court, as well as BBMP, they have made a rules. Here, either we need to use the carrot and stick, make some proposals and make some ideas.
For limiting the use of plastic, essentially, like
the
a
use
plastic.
of the plastic. Yeah,
Okay.
because it's easy to achieve.
Yeah.
And and it's a great thing to do the society a good work on this.
Great. Anything specific to COVID that you think also?
COVID,
that you have noticed is an action that can happen.
When I take the Europe countries, okay, where they are already opening the lockout, what I understand, because some of my friends and other things are there, they are telling there is a strict social distancing which they have observed. Thereby they contain the spread. Okay, they don't have any concept of mask there, because the mask also they don't available. Okay, here how do we bring this social distance? Okay, shall we make some if we take some
social distancing?
Yeah, social distancing.
Okay.
Make some.
I'm going to, sorry, if I can please stop you a little, because let's keep it very brief, because I want to give more people a chance to talk. So let's keep it really crisp. So I think ensuring that everyone follows social distancing is quite an important
it's quite
action.
important. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And do you think what do you think is the barrier for us to achieve the above? Or what do you think is stopping that?
In a point number one barrier is that why should I invest, okay, for the plastic elimination? There again, we can use the stick where the government rules and other things you have to change. So bring that one.
Behavior change is basically the barrier in achieving the above.
Absolutely. Okay.
And
in the COVID social distancing, it's a mindset. Okay.
Yeah.
We need to
mindset
bring as much as visual impact, like cartoons to be displayed. At least one day in 8th class, another day in 7th class, like that. Bring the awareness through the cartoons display.
Okay. Great. Anybody else? Can we go around? Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You can unmute and speak. Yeah, Meera.
Sophia, anyway, I just saw Manju commenting about pedestrian-friendly streets. I think Malleshwaram is a very vibrant place, and it's like extremely suited for that kind of a very, strong local community oriented sort of a neighborhood where it's easy to walk, everything is available in in a neighborhood store, and similar to the kind of downtown and heritage precincts you would see elsewhere, right? So I think that's a great idea. But I just wanted to share specific to COVID. I wanted to share based on my experience, especially living in an apartment, as well as some of the stuff that has been done in as part of Bangalore Apartment Federation and so on. So there's a lot of learning if you look at from how apartments deal with the situation, right? So once a particular apartment has a positive case and how the containment zones are specified, so there's a protocol that people follow. And BBMP will come and outline and block certain areas, and then the association takes care of providing the basic provisions for the people who are in home quarantine and cannot go out, all of that, right? So can Malleshwaram as a neighborhood think of consider itself as different independent blocks, right? So unfortunately this is a situation which makes you think in terms of silos. So can each block be a silo where you can have self-contained, self-sufficient sort of needs? So when some situation happens, if there is some case or somebody is in home quarantine, the neighborhood kind of comes together, and there are volunteers in each block to say, we will help people. Especially Malleshwaram does have a lot of old people, so this sort of having a protocol like this will help.
Self-sufficient blocks, in a sense, where you're already building an ecosystem at a block level.
Yeah.
It's smaller than the ward.
Correct. So I feel it's important because of the stuff we're going through, and even my apartment had a case, and which later turned out to be some false positive. But I'm just saying, it's inevitable at some point. All of us will have to deal with it, and it's better to be prepared and have a protocol. Especially if there are younger people who can kind of put these things in place, so that as a neighborhood and it can be strengthened.
Yeah, I think that's a completely valid point. And I think a lot of the discussions also have been about how do you decentralize the community? How can it help make this entire experience a little less traumatic, I think, for everyone. So
yeah,
absolutely.
I think a lot of people are writing points in the chat. I can see a lot of points, but it would
So
be
can I call out? Yeah, can I call out to the people that have written? Maybe that's also a good way where you write yours, and I can call out on you once the point is written. Manju, do you want to just state your point? I think pedestrian-friendly streets, even which Manju said, even Meera said as well. Ankit, do you want to just put that down? Manju, do you want to unmute yourself and just state your point?
Hello, I'm there. Why don't you unmute me?
No, you unmuted. I can hear you.
Hello?
Hello? Yes, we can hear you.
I'm Saraswati.
Oh.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah. When will my turn come to say a few words?
No, you can please go ahead.
But can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, well. Your first question is something about Malaysia. My main intention is regarding the footpaths, okay, which were all up and down. At least the 18 cross is somewhat better now. So the footpaths have to be set right first for all the senior citizens and other citizens. That is my one request, okay, for Malleshwaram. Secondly, regarding what did you ask me?
The COVID action or response that you think needs to be implemented.
I beg your pardon?
Any COVID related action or response that needs to be implemented.
COVID related action, I would say the citizens of Malleshwaram, though they are very well educated and they know they are violating the rules of COVID. Even when they go, they're supposed to wear mask and they're supposed to maintain social distance, which is not being carried out by many of the people in Malleshwaram.
So that is I think you can add masks. Masks is definitely a thing. So we'll just stick to one, ma'am, just one action. And then the barrier, because I'm going to run it through
barrier
a lot
means
more.
What do you mean by barrier?
Any barriers or issues that you think will be faced to achieve any of these actions that you have said. Like the footpath thing that you said, what do you think is the biggest barrier to that? For us not having good footpaths so far.
Yeah, that is true. That is very true. And then one more thing I wanted to know, awareness for the citizens of Malleshwaram. Many of them are not aware to which ward they belong and who are their cooperators and whom to consult and all that, you know. Yesterday,
so who are
came
the people
to know
in
two
power,
apartments
basically?
they do not know. So
okay.
This is one to make them aware. So these are the things I would like to do. But
great.
I do not know if I get help or I should ask others to do it for me.
So the idea is we need to start building a collective so that we all can work towards common things that we agree on. So
that should be a team of people or volunteers who should join together and do the thing.
Absolutely.
That's it.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Very much. I thank you too. Bye. Yeah. Can I leave now?
Sure, sure. I mean, up to you. You can stay and listen in or...
Bye-bye, and thank you very much for inviting me. Bye.
Bye. Manju, can we have you on next?
Yeah, so I was thinking Malleshwaram is the best place to make it pedestrian friendly because I mean the entire area is divided into different blocks, and the other thing is lots of elderly people are staying there. So once it is made pedestrian friendly, it will be safer for elderly people to go for walking and do their regular errands. Point two is during the COVID time, we need to ensure that physical distancing has to happen. So if the streets can be made pedestrian friendly, it is then you are ensuring the COVID protocols. Point three is behavioral changes and
as a barrier. Hello? Hello? Yeah, hello. I think yes, Manju. So you said the point three is on it being a barrier, the behavior change being a barrier.
Okay, yeah. So point three is behavioral changes, which we are asking people to make it. Since they have been doing it in a different way, suddenly asking them to do it in certain fashion is going to be little difficult. The other thing is lack of infrastructure like how Saraswati ma'am was saying, no, like not having proper footpath, and then you ask people to walk, it will be very difficult for them.
Great. Okay, thank you. Can we move on to Vishwesh? So I would request everyone to please put down your, like as Manju, Vishwesh have done, and they're putting it on the chat. So it'll be easier for me to call upon you as the points come in. Vishwesh, do you mind?
Okay.
Yeah.
So a couple of things. I think we need to be fairly thinking long term in terms of, visioning for the entire area, and then hitting on individual ideas we can sort of take up, like say pedestrianization and everything. And to a certain extent, what this would also depend on is defining the boundaries of what, Malleshwaram is.
Yes.
I also think that given we're sort of looking at it from the perspective of an urban living lab, sort of really shift away from immediate COVID crisis management thinking to a far more strategic long-term visioning. Because what needs to be done for COVID needs to be done over the next 2-3 weeks, 2-3 months, so on and so forth. And yes, there will be a lot of long-term measures that do need to come out of it. But I think given that there is a lot of professional expertise also here, we need to shift from crisis management, where there is a lot of engagement happening, to sort of applying this whole thing for a more strategic long-term view.
Absolutely, absolutely. Great, thank you. Mani is put in 3 points as well.
Hi. So my dad sort of wanted to say that, so we don't really have an action or a project, but it's more of like a vision that, we would like Malleshwaram to sort of be seen as a role model in terms of its citizens' friendliness for like all other aspects for all other parts of Bangalore, especially the residential areas.
Great.
Number 2, for COVID, I think especially because we see a lot of people spitting on the roads, and like because this is a community, how can we like encourage community hygiene and show that it is as important as personal hygiene?
Right.
And the third point would be that like there's a lot of indifference both from residents and from authorities about making change, and like sometimes it's even like it's just lethargy. So how can we overcome that?
Yeah, great. I think that's a very, very valid point. We've not had much response from the corporator as well going forward. I think it's always been about catching the corporate. So yes, having this cleared out, it is a huge barrier.
Can you summarize this point? Like, where would this go? Because this is a general thing, or this is a COVID?
No, the indifference of residents and authorities is in the barrier.
Okay.
Anybody else going down the table again? Who's not put?
I just request everybody to be quite crisp in their comments, because then we have quite a bit going
So Sobia, this is Chaitra.
Make an observation about a barrier, or you think there's something you don't have to necessarily. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, in general, I mean, I'm not talking about COVID as for the first point. In a regular time, the 2 major things that bothers Malleshwaram is, one is the parking. Given it's a commercial hub, parking is a major pain point, and we lack enough infrastructure. And another is the safety of pedestrians, even if it could be the footpath, or it is also, we have a lot of cases of chain snatching and other cases where pedestrians are like attacked. So those
crime
2 are
and safety as well.
Yeah. Those 2 are the more generic one, non-COVID ones, what came to my mind. And COVID specific, what I'm seeing the bulletins and other things, there's no clarity on the protocol, whom to contact, who should come, who will help us if the patient is found, where they have to be shifted, who has to do the sanitizer. All that protocol is in confusion. So that, and the right spots, right protocols have to be in place where people can reach out immediately, especially for the COVID thing. Okay, barriers is, one is bureaucracy and another is the confusion around the whole process.
In what sense? The confusion around the process in terms of lack of clarity itself.
Yeah, lack of clarity and information. Daily we get one information. BBMP process changes every day. They themselves don't have clarity, and bureaucracy in terms of like it could be the corporator or the government officials.
Yeah,
they're taking their own agenda and not supporting the people enough.
No, absolutely. No, I think that's definitely a very valid thing, which is going on not only in Malleshwaram. I think all over the city we are facing this in all neighborhoods. Can I have Sharanya? Sharanya, you've got 2 points.
Yeah.
We can't hear you.
Yeah, can you hear?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we can
the
hear
same
you guys.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, the same point as some others have mentioned, that we need a pedestrian-friendly Malleshwaram, and also accessibility to public spaces like parks, etc., or playgrounds. They seem to be locked up after a time, and are out there. It's not access them, are also let out to private people to run their coaching camps, etc. Also, over commercialization. There used to be a demarcation between residential area and commercial area and things like that. But now everything's got mixed up, and I don't know if that's also a reason for all these problems that we are having. So Malleshwaram is becoming a shopping center of Bangalore. The point number 2, like Chaitra said, there needs to be a little more transparency on lots of things about the quarantine. We had issues about all that. We didn't know what to do. And also the waste segregation. We don't know what is happening. Whether the Paura Karmikas were mentioning today that their life is in danger and things like that. So we were wondering whether anything is being done for them also.
Yeah, for the waste workers, basically.
Barriers, I would say again, yeah, no transparency from the BBMP.
Yeah.
There's a lot of material put out there, but I mean, like you have lots of videos and things that what you have to do, and this is what the BBMP is doing, but we don't find them doing many things.
Yeah. I think one of the things that we've been trying to do even in the first webinar was when we got the MOH specifically for that reason, to clarify a lot of the basic questions that were that we had. And we on the Malleshwaram Urban Living Lab website, we've sifted through some of that material to put it up. So we are pulling out based on what is available, what is tested, as well what is communicated from the MOH, that is your Medical Officer Health for Malleshwaram area. So I think that is a place where we're trying to collate all of this, but absolutely that is definitely a valid point, and I think we need to see how to communicate this further with everybody as well. Can we go on to Shri? Shri, do you want to unmute yourself?
Sorry, there's a lot of disturbance where I am, so I've just written my comments in the chat section.
Okay.
Yeah, sure. So I have yours here. I'll just state it. So you've said that Malleshwaram is more livable than other localities. So creating a neighborhood level resilience strategy might help nip the vulnerabilities other than COVID in the bud. For the second point, the protocols have been followed are unevenly among various apartments. Also, protocol to be followed by shopkeepers and people working in Malleshwaram versus apartments and versus individuals should be different, and there is a need to create targeted awareness. I think, yeah, some of them have covered that as well. I will also take on Shweta. Shweta has also stated a point, which is safeguarding green cover for Malleshwaram, and I think Malleshwaram does have a lot of that.
Yeah, so the other day I did see that a lot of trees were being cut. I also heard from Kala that they fell due to the winds the other day as part of the rain. but also I think the TenderSure project is going on. And as part of that, a lot of trees are being cut. So, and I think the TenderSure is also marked for 8th Main, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So what happens to the green cover then? And is it possible when the footpaths are being relayed or things like that, if there's a little more breathing space for the trees, for them to grow better so that their roots are still active and they don't get suffocated and they just fall?
So I think that's definitely a valid point on looking at TenderSure or any other development where trees can still be retained and be done in a proper manner so that they can continue to at least survive. Absolutely, that is definitely a valid point. I think we've got a lot of the inputs in. The idea of this exercise has been just for us to also see what all we all have as ideas in our mind, and sort of to set the base going forward for what the Living Lab will also do. We did start with COVID, and coming to a previous point that was raised, the reason to start with COVID is the idea is to get engaged. COVID is an emergent issue, but the Living Lab's idea or the intention is to be there for the long run and not just for an immediate or urgent issue. So I think from this, I will move on to the next session, and we'll continue to keep this engagement going. And also, we would like you guys to see that you can get involved in some of the projects, so then we can keep the conversation going through that. Ankit, can I just screen share now?
Yeah, so we will anyway, as all of this work is being documented and will be put up on the website as well. So just want to say that. Yeah. Over to you, Savya.
I just want to chip in and just to say that, you know, you can continue to mail us and send us your comments even after this. This is not the only point at which we'll be taking your feedback.
So moving on to just very quickly, and I know we've already hit on 6 o'clock, so we'll try to keep this as brief so that we can just get the sign-offs for the different projects that are there. So Living Labs have come about as a phenomena to solve a lot of problems. So the idea is, how do I get users involved, get all the stakeholders involved in quick testing of solutions before I hit scale? So that is the idea of a Living Lab, and they have caught on as a way to resolve urban level issues across multiple cities. So Europe also has something called a Europe Network of Living Labs that has come up. So it's a methodology largely, but the idea is, how can I have my users, that's the residents, the public actors, which is all our BBMP officials, our BWSSB, BESCOM, all of them, the private actors who have, so we would be a private actor, come a knowledge institute. So our scientific institutes that are there, there's IISc really close by, there's a lot of research happening. How do we see all these players come together in the real life context of a Living Lab? And the idea what Sensing Local Foundation is coming with is to provide that technical support for urban challenges. Moving on very quickly, so Malleshwaram Urban Living Lab is actually a collaboration between Malleshwaram Social and Sensing Local. So it is not either or, it is to say that how can the community and a technical organization come together to actually tackle problems at the scale of this ward, as well as act as a social and cultural community platform for residents. And the steps we follow, so the methodology that we bring is these 8 steps that you're seeing on the right hand side, which is of looking at initiating a project, dissemination of information, developing a plan, doing a co-creative design of it, then implementing it, evaluating it, refining it, and again, then moving forward to implement it. So Suchitra, do you want to just quickly come in terms of the objectives?
Yeah. So I think one of the main things when we started talking about it was to understand that Malleshwaram, being more than 100 years old, has a deep heritage, but at the same time, it's also moving forward. It has, we are modernizing also at almost the same pace as the rest of the city. So how do we, both keep our past and so keep our unique heritage and culture, and also keep looking at how to accommodate future developments which are just going to overtake us, and we see a lot of people are sort of anguished about that. And the main objective of MUL happening is that as a community group, we have a lot of hurdles in how we can achieve it, because we don't have sometimes the expertise, we don't have the kind of research background or data collection or documentation. All these are specific skills which are available within a research organization like Sensing Local. And the idea of coming together between, setting up a lab where a community organization and a research organization come together is to completely synergize the expertise and the strengths of both organizations, so that the area itself is benefited. So I'll just quickly go through the objectives. Just a couple of things. What happens is that so far what happens is that any of the decisions which are made in a very non-transparent, very opaque manner. So none of us know what's happening. We want to be involved. We want to get all these citizens also involved in it, along with the government agencies. There's no point us asking for things. We have to involve the government in every single thing, because they are the one who are actually going to implement it for us. But we also have to then understand what are the processes. If we are very reactive so far, if we just say we want a good footpath, but what is the process behind it and how to effectively make sure that process happens. How do we plan for the future? Not just be looking at the short-term issues, but how do we plan in a holistic manner for the next many years? And how do we quickly do small experiments? So we do this within a small area of Malleshwaram. We try out what are called tactical urbanism procedures, where you can just quickly run kind of almost an experiment to like pedestrianize a street and see how well it works. So these are the things we can do, and by the Urban Living Lab, this sort of a setup, we are hoping to do this in an open, inclusive, participatory, and more dynamic and quick manner, rather than stay stuck at certain things for years and years and years, which has been our experience. Over to you, Ankit, Sobhya, whoever.
Yeah. So the main focus areas, so like you all know, there are ward committees, and ward committees have mandates. So a lot of the focus areas that can be done at the scale of the ward, for which budgets are also available, is water, waste, public space management, mobility, transportation, inclusion of the urban poor, disaster management, and heritage conservation. A lot of these points you all have raised already as things you would like to see in Malleshwaram, and they have been put at the scale of the ward. So the idea is to be able to take on these aspects of it. We've already got a web page that's up. So in case you want any further information, or you want to understand anything more about an Urban Living Lab, please go over to the website. We've shared it around. It's there even on our other pages where you would have found the event. Unfortunately, it's still on Sensing Local's website because we've not bought a domain, but you will find it through there. Going forward to what Sensing Local Foundation does. So we've been around for almost 4 years now, largely focused in Bangalore. We are architects and urban planners, and our thematic areas have been in that of waste management, air quality, water management, urban poverty, rural-urban ecologies, governance, amongst many others. The main focus of our work has been towards a participatory approach to problem solving. And we have so far worked with a whole diverse set of partners, ranging from NGOs, government departments. So BBMP, we work with the Solid Waste Management Department, we work with Tourism Department, we work with Horticulture Department, citizen groups, we work with Indiranagar RWA, we work with other organizations also around Whitefield side, institutions, philanthropies. So we work with Azim Premji Philanthropy, CSR initiatives with private companies bringing their money. Our focus as urban planners also has been, and the reason why we are here, we very early realized that master plans are failing in our cities. And we realized that if master plans are failing, then where should urban planners be? Because planning is not happening only top down. We realized that a lot of neighborhoods are actually influencing their own surroundings. So for us as planners, we need to make ourselves available to everywhere at all scales that where city is getting made. So our main approach has been to break down the complexity of these problems, to build support systems where we get the government support systems, because we do have an understanding of the government ecosystem, build that in with the support system on the ground level to actually foster participation. We also believe that one entity, one person cannot solve the problem. We need multiple types of stakeholders. We also need more number of problem solvers. And I think already the plethora of actions that have been done with Malleshwaram Social and the people on this team right now are showing that we have that already as a capacity within us or in a neighborhood. We are people from different professions. We come from different experiences. And if we actually bring that together through an organized manner, we can increase our problem solving capacity. And the last part has been to include all diverse stakeholders, being another approach that we do. You all can definitely go over to our website. These are some of the projects that we've done in waste management. The microplan is something that we've pushed and anchored with the BBMP as well. We've done work around Vartur Lake. We've done a lot of neighborhood air quality studies. We've done workshops around wetlands. Please, absolutely, you can go search any questions you have. Happy to answer them as well. So looking at, I think we're 10 minutes down. I would like to jump in, and we could take in questions about us, and you all can definitely write to us and reach out to us. But I'd like to now bring the focus back to the previous 2 webinars that have happened and the COVID projects that have come out. So what has happened over the last 3 webinars that had been done? There were 4 projects that actually came out. I don't know how many of you all were there for the previous webinars, but I will run through each of these projects. The first project was around increasing the adoption of masks in public spaces. This came about, I think, Krishna, can you just give a very brief thing to what was your experience when you went around distributing the masks? Krishna?
Yeah.
Just give us a brief thing of what your experience was so that it sets the context for this project.
Yeah, so very briefly, what we found is that almost everyone has the awareness that you should wear masks. But the stark reality is that the masks that people wear and how they wear them shows that it's not very effective. So in the sense, the awareness is there, but practically it's not working in the sense that the seriousness is not there. So it's like most things, we are doing it for the show of it. And when you look at people, they'll sort of push their mask up to beyond their nose and so on. But normally it's just down below the nose or below the
chin. And
so
also, I think the point that they have to wear it for so long.
The other issues are like right now, I'm actually in Hyderabad today. I'm walking around and it's just very difficult to keep wearing a mask for a long time. And no one has done any work on how comfortable they are and what modifications can be done to make it better and so on. So yeah, so those kind of work needs to be done. If you are going to expect people like street vendors to wear masks all day and do their work, which involves talking to people, then we have to do some work to make it more convenient and more comfortable. I mean, that's the only way to help people to wear masks. I mean, it's just not enough to say just you should wear masks, but it should be practical.
Yeah.
Because finally, livelihood is more important to them than. I mean, we may say it's not rational, but yeah, I mean, safety goes only to some extent, and then after that, livelihood is required. I mean, everyone wants to make some money to maintain their lifestyle and so on.
Yeah, great, thank you. So the idea around this project is, as Krishna described, we do have a good understanding of what the problem is. But now from here, we want to build teams towards being able to solve for this problem. So can we figure out campaigns around it? Can we figure out how to distribute masks? Maybe can we figure out and do a market research of which are the most comfortable masks? So these are the kind of things that we would like to move forward in this first project. And the reason I'm saying is just so that if you all can make a mental note of which project you would like to be a part of, because following this, I'd like you all to just put into the chat which project you want to start getting involved in. And I think that would be the first thing for us to also get to know each other and how we can start working. The second project is on installing hand sanitizing stations. And I think the project 3 as well. So Chitra, do you want to just come in for these 2 projects to very briefly what you observed and just stating the brief?
Yeah, so project 2, so basically this is at this point, of course, very critical to have a lot of, sanitization happening. I mean, generally the people should be, washing their hands as frequently as possible. And as we know, we don't have not even enough toilets, forget about, hand wash places. So what we'd like to do is look at very easy, low cost, models of for hand washing, and try and push the ward committee to have them installed at various places on a permanent basis, so that it just increases the level of how we keep ourselves more clean in the future also. So that is in the gist, and how we'll see how we work on the details. Project 3 is about so we know that now that businesses have opened up, we have a number of risks coming in from the opening of shopping areas and restaurants. And right now the government has rolled out a whole lot of SOPs, protocols which are supposed to be followed by them, and these are very impractical actually, and most of them don't follow these protocols, nor are they able to make others follow, the customers follow them. So what we'd like to do is to work on the ground and actually see on a practical level how is it possible to design the kind of protocols which are usable for us in Malleshwaram, how they can be done physically on the ground, whether it means redesigning the street, whether it means painting the street and creating walking lanes or social distancing circles and so on. So this would be a whole, we'll start with sort of mapping areas in Malleshwaram, talking to businesses, engaging with them, then seeing what are their problems, working with the protocols which have been given, seeing how to change them, and actually come up with a whole lot of new protocols which are practicable, and try and roll them out and get the support for this again from the ward committee, from BBMP.
Yeah. The last project is about getting the ward disaster management cell up and running. In the last session, we had Jairaj from Ward 77, who has been very successful in pushing the setting up of the ward disaster management cell, which is meant to be a mandate of the ward committee. And that has been a huge gap for Ward 45. I don't know if Aparna or Ravi is in the room to just highlight a little, because they have been having the conversations with the corporator. I can see Ravi here, but I'm not sure if he has an update. Basically, the idea behind the ward disaster management cell is how can we push towards that being set up in the first place, and then move towards the activities that are there. And there is a funding available to these ward disaster management cells. But this has not been, we have gotten information that the money is there, it has come, but we don't know what it is being spent on or what else it can be spent on. So I think it's going to take a lot more of us going back to the corporator and telling him, okay, these are 5 activities that we want to do and we want you to fund. You have to take our money from that, the budget given in the ward disaster management cell. So I think to start getting that activated would be a constant sort of follow up with the corporator as well as other ward committee members as well. So very like the kind of activities that we are looking at, and this is just to put it down, and of course this presentation also will be available. So MS is Malleshwaram Social, SLF is Sensing Local Foundation. So MS would be all the community members largely. This is the kind of work that will be involved and tasks that will be actually distributed between both the teams. So this is one part of it. So it's the COVID projects. The second part that we're doing is we are doing a few more webinars. So a lot of you raised issues around whether it is our waste workers. That's the next webinar that we are planning to have. So we had initially, I don't know if everyone had voted on this, we had put down 10 topics and asked on which is the most important one that they think that needs to be done. And so we are following that sequence to actually cover all the other topics of related to COVID. So the next one is around managing waste, and we have senior care. We're looking at community health, impact on businesses and coping mechanism, increasing in the crime post-COVID, public health and urban planning in Malleshwaram, and education and COVID, that is schools, colleges, and e-learning. For this also, we are looking for people to come in and volunteer, because it's to be able to help with contextualizing the problem, also to be able to become actively involved in the research of this and what can be possible in testing solutions and organizing of these webinars. So these are the few things that are there. If I can request everyone, and we will, I promise we will end after this. If you can just put down the project that you would like to take into the chat, so that you would like to volunteer on, and then we will reach out to you also based on that.
So I just want to mention one thing, that the role of the webinars is actually to communicate to a wider audience the information that might be sitting with a few. And so the point of the webinar is to do, one is to do community meetings, because we can't meet physically. This becomes a permanent point for us to always be able to come back to this and be able to place it in front of a Raja arena and say, okay, we have these problems, how do we tackle them? But also seek out support. So if, like, for example, right now these 4 projects have come through the last 2 webinars. So we again are reaching out to get more people involved. So every webinar is going to be part of information research that we do and disseminate that. And then secondly is also to reach out to new people and involve them in that. While the COVID projects are actually something that we want to then conceive and actually put it on the ground and work on the ground to make it happen.
I'd also say we have a volunteer tab in our website. So people can also go there and volunteer themselves. I think Ankit, do we have something on an interest there, or we can add in maybe the 4 projects?
We don't have it, but there can be a message that can be dropped there. So
yeah, but it'd be good right now if everyone can just sign on to a project. Then we will also reach out to you, because we do have details as well, as you have registered. If you can please just put on whether it is a COVID project or whether it is a webinar that you would like to be a part of. So then we will start creating smaller subgroups that we can start working towards a finalized output. I'm sure everybody knows the chat I've got already from Ramya.
Okay, project 2, money and Maya. So, great.
You need more elaboration, because
Ramya is in waste management. I'd also like to say that you don't have to be tramping the ground and sort of doing all this actively. You can also sit at your homes and
help ideate.
So all the senior citizens who are here and sort of feeling that, oh, we're not going to do it, we're not going to be able to do anything. That's not true. Please sit there, make calls on our behalf, pester the cooperator. You can do all of that in the most splendid manner, because they can't refuse your calls. Oh, great.
So we'll keep this on for another, maybe the next 5-10 minutes. And if anyone has any questions, please go ahead and you can ask.
Can we just give people time also to think and then stay, maybe offline?
Absolutely. If it'll be great if you can sign on right away. Otherwise, offline also. And of course, this is not hard and fast. If you want to move to another project, that is also, it's not like a hard and fast rule. So Absolutely. But it would be good to get some thing going right now off your head. Which ones you would think, as well as Ankit had also shared the MUL website. We do have a volunteer tab.
Yeah, I've shared the Sensing Local website and the MUL website for you all. I'm sharing the volunteer tab as well here.
So that you can sign on through that as well. So we have your details in our database and then we can reach out to you guys.
Yeah, I think that's fine too. And if there's something that's missing here, you can always just comment. I think some people have written to us already for volunteering in the last webinar. I think we'll be just accumulating it and figuring out how to form smaller subgroups to self-organize.
I'd also request people, I know that some of you have your own friends or your group of people you're already working with in some similar background, with a similar background. Please get those people in also, even if they're not attended this, so that you have your, you work with the people who are already interested in a particular set of tasks.
Okay, I think that's pretty much it for this session. Thank you all for joining us. It has extended a little longer, but it has been great to get this kick started.
Yeah, before time.
Yeah, before time. But it's good to get. I assume we'll stick to 1 hour, but yes, we went a little beyond 1 hour. But yes, great. Thank you so much. It's amazing to see this energy. And like I said earlier, it would have been great if we could have started the Living Lab before COVID. And because the conversation was on for quite a while before that, it would have been nice to already become familiar with everyone, and probably we wouldn't have a lot of these problems. But this is great, and we hope to continue to engage the same way. We'd like to move in, and of course, please feel free to reach out to any of us, whether it's Suchitra, who you're comfortable with. You can reach out to Ankit from Sensing Local as well, and reach us through email. So we've already got an email called contactus.mal@gmail.com. Please write to us anything that you have. We have to just make the most of this mode of communication, I guess, because we have no choice for some time. And yeah, great. I think this is a good start. So let's get going. Look forward to having you in the next webinar for sure, which is around waste management.
No, I just wanted to add one thing, Sobhya, which is that since we, unfortunately, like you said, we can't meet, so what we are using the webinars as a platform for discussion and updating ourselves on the work that we hope to achieve through the week. So basically, the first one part of the webinar would be like a discussion on what we've been able to achieve through the week. And the other part of the webinar would be on the topic of that particular week. So for example, next week we are talking about waste management, but we'll also see now through this week, what is the progress we've made, what are the difficulties we are having, and we'll have a discussion. So this is a discussion and sort of dissemination platform, which is like in lieu of, meeting physically.
I think the only one point that I would like to add before we finish is that we are not trying to reinvent the wheel. In fact, we want to be an aggregator platform so that everybody who's doing work in Malleshwaram is able to shine and is able to find more collaborators around this place and really feel like all of COVID offers us a great urgency to act suddenly because everyone is affected. So we really think that this is also a great time in a way to be able to reach out because everyone is feeling the pain. So if you're doing other things that would be useful for the community, please write to us. We would like to also add you to the MUL website and feature you there so that you can also reach out to a larger public.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, good.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks
so much.
Thanks, everybody. See you next week and in the week between, actually.
Yeah.